Okay, and we're live.
Yeah.
Well, we're not really live. I'm on the. So the boys are with me this weekend. Well, today anyway. And ooh, I look a hot mess. Anyway, so we decided that we wanted to make a video this morning and talk to you
Sorry about that.
about what are we going to talk about, guys?
Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
What about the people who haven't seen it yet?
Well,
Spoilers.
if you don't want to know, don't watch our video.
Just warning you right now, spoilers.
Well, I mean, the movie's been out a couple weeks now. Most people have seen it. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch this video because we're going to discuss it. And if you have seen it, comment down below and tell us what you think about it or any opinions expressed herein are our own opinions. And if you don't like them, you don't have to watch us. So anyway, I'm Michelle. I've got Brandon and AJ with me this morning.
Hi.
Trevor would be here, but I think he's still in my bed asleep. We made him leave the living room so that we could be loud and noisy and raucous. And so...
Okay, I'll be back with more coffee.
Oh, AJ's going to get coffee. Brandon.
Second time around, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Throw me something.
Luke, hologram.
The Luke hologram. What did you think about that? Did you know it was a hologram at first?
No, I did not know it was a hologram at first. Okay, remember the part in The Force Awakens when not Han Solo, but Kylo Ren stops the laser with the Force.
Right.
I did not know that Luke was a hologram, so I thought he was just standing there in all that pile of dust with his hand out like this, and all those lasers that came out to him were just stopped.
Right.
And the power that their speed and when they stopped made the dust.
And I love it when the dust settles and he goes.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
It really was.
So when did you realize that Luke was a hologram?
When he disappeared.
Really?
At the very end. I did not know he was a hologram through the entire thing.
Even when Kylo speared him in the chest?
Oh, yeah, that part, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sucks that Luke died, though.
Well,
Yeah, no
it does suck. And see, here's the sad thing is this. They killed Han Solo in the last movie, so he's not going to be back unless, of course, it's a flashback or something like that,
Yeah.
which we all know Harrison Ford was okay with that. He wanted Han Solo to die years ago. He didn't want to reprise the role, so the fact that he did was awesome, but we know he's not going to come back unless it's just a flashback or something. Now, Luke is gone. Now, that doesn't mean anything because since he was a Jedi and he can come back anytime, like Yoda came back.
Did.
Exactly.
At the end where Yoda still used his powers.
Right. So Luke is gone, but he can come back because of the energy of the Force, etc., etc.
Not powers.
Now, the thing about it is, though, we all know that in real life, Carrie Fisher died.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie, Carrie Fisher's still alive. I mean, Princess Leia's still alive. She did not die in this movie, although there were a couple times we thought she was a goner for sure.
Yeah.
And then my question is going to be, how do they explain how do they explain Princess Leia just being gone? You're not going to find another actress to replace her now.
Yeah.
And she died in real life, and I think that she died before they started production on the last movie. So, question, how are they going to explain Princess Leia not coming back? Because they didn't kill her in the end of this movie.
Interesting.
Right, right.
Okay, here's what I think. They're just not going to show her on screen and be like, she went off to find Luke and died in a spaceship car crash.
Spaceship car crash. I love it. What about you? What do you think? AJ, how do you think they're going to explain Carrie Fisher's death in the next movie?
In Star Wars?
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
You think they're just not going to have Princess Leia back on screen and they're just not going to address that at all? She's just not there, just like she never existed?
No, this is how I think it's gonna go. They're gonna replace her and move on.
They can't replace her. She's Princess Leia.
Princess Leia.
Now they're gonna replace her with somebody that looks like her.
Okay.
You know how I think they're going to do it? This is my honest opinion. I really think that they're going to take past footage that maybe they didn't use and or CGI to make it look like she's there. And just
Or they can use that, but in that form make her die in the next movie.
they could do that. They could do that. Or, you know, I was going to say just have her like on not on screen per se, but like on like they were using FaceTime or something, you know, like she's on the screen talking to him and then she's gone, and they could do that with CGI.
Yeah.
You know, that's my thought process.
I gotta use your phone.
Hey, thanks for telling the whole world, Andrew.
The whole world.
The whole 2 people that watch my channel. Hey, all 2 of you that watch my channel,
Awesome.
AJ had to pee.
It's gonna take a minute.
Let's see. So, let's see. What else do we want to cover? Let's cover what do we think about, we still don't know the parentage of Rey. Now, Kylo Ren tells Rey that her parents were nobody, that she's a nobody. Do we take that to heart? Or do we think that Kylo is pretty much just trying to mess with her head so that she thinks that she's a nobody? See, I think that Kylo's messing with her head because I think she has too much power with the Force not to have some kind of Skywalker or Solo Skywalker blood flowing through her veins. And your opinion, Brandon, and go.
Yes, I know. I believe strongly that she is a Skywalker. She's Han Solo's daughter.
And Princess Leia.
Yes, when they say nobodies, just junk traders, think about where the Millennium Falcon was with her. So what if they just call them junk traders and he's trying to mess with her, but Han Solo left the Millennium Falcon for her to find?
You know, that I never ever considered the fact that that might be a clue as to her parentage, but that's a really good point.
And
Wait,
strong, like the Force, like Luke's lightsaber calling out to her, her British accent. Those are...
Well, the British accent is notwithstanding because she grew up away from everybody. Like it doesn't matter. For example, your mom is your mom and your dad is your dad. But if for some reason you got adopted to somebody that lived in Britain, like your folks gave you up for adoption or something, and you grew up in Great Britain, you would talk with that accent regardless of who your parents were. So it has less about who your parents are and more about where you grew up.
Yeah, and the British accent also explain that one person she goes to in that place with the big guy. He sells her the bread that grows instantly.
Okay.
I don't know his name, but yeah,
it's been a little bit since I saw The Force Awakens, and I only got to see it one time, so I'm a little fuzzy on the memory of that one, so I would have to go back and watch it again. But yeah, I mean, because they speak with that accent, then that's probably how she would be having a British accent when obviously Han and Leia don't speak with a British accent, but
yeah,
accents
Leia
notwithstanding,
did speak with a British accent. When we got home, we watched A New Hope. She spoke with a British accent when she was talking to that person. When she was like, something, star, galaxy, something. She was speaking with a British accent.
When she made the video film for R2-D2 to take to Obi-Wan Kenobi?
When she was captured. and they were gonna shoot the death ray at the planet.
I don't ever remember Princess Leia speaking with a British accent, but it's all interpretive, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
And-
all I'm saying is accents. You can't really hold an accent to parentage. You
Yeah.
can't. I mean, so anyway, I really think AJ, whoever the heck you are, AJ, we're having this conversation, right? Are you going to be in this conversation?
I was watching videos on
Okay.
your channel.
So, do you think that Kylo Ren is just making stuff up to mess with Rey, or do you?
Yes.
Who do you think Rey's parents are?
Junk traders.
You think that her parents were just junk traders and that she is a nobody?
Wait.
That's what Kylo Ren told her. But is she a nobody?
No, I rephrase that. She's Princess Leia's daughter.
You think she's the daughter of Princess Leia and Han Solo?
Yes.
I think she should be the Princess Leia and Han Solo daughter. I really do.
And
If you are okay, if you stay canon to the series, to all of the books and everything that were written before Disney took everything over, and I'm not knocking on Disney, I'm just saying they took a lot of liberties, okay? But anyway, Han and Leia had 3 kids, not just Ben. And so I'm thinking she ought to be Kylo Ren's sibling, not a cousin, which a lot of people have said, oh no, she's Luke's daughter. I don't think she's a cousin.
Yeah.
I think she and Kylo are siblings. Now, whether they're the twin siblings that Han and Leia actually supposedly had, or if they're big brother, little sister, like you guys seem to think, I don't know, but I think that they actually are siblings.
Yeah, I think it's big brother, little sister, because it would make sense that she
You okay?
was.
You
It would
coughed
make.
up? Okay.
It would make sense that Han Solo would be lying that she was sent to that place she was living, because how can I explain it?
They wanted to get her
Okay.
away from Han Solo.
They knew Kylo Ren was turning to the dark side, because he's the older brother. He already knew about the Force, and he was training with Luke, as we saw in the movie.
Right.
And he was turning to the dark side. So they sent her to that desert planet to get away from him.
You know what I think? You want my theory?
Yes, I do.
I think they're actually twins. I really don't think that Kylo Ren is any older than she is. And I really think they're twins. And I think, much like Luke and Leia, they were separated at birth. And I think that they separated them at birth because of the Force and because of all of the issues. It's kind of like a family darkness. It's kind of like a family darkness because of the way that Vader was conflicted, and they knew that there was a chance that one of their children would be conflicted. At least one of their children would be conflicted. And I think they separated them at birth on purpose. And I think that she was raised away from the Force and away from everything to keep her safe, much like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru raised Luke. Remember last night when we were watching A New Hope, and he was talking about there's too much of his father.
From the Force and stuff.
Exactly. That's what I think. I think it was a pattern that was played out.
That's pretty interesting. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
That
That's-
would be cool to see, because in the next movie that's going to be coming out, there's obviously going to be a little boy. And we saw that at the end of The Last Jedi. What if the same pattern plays out with him?
Yeah, but just because there was a little boy at the end, I mean, what significance is he? How would he be significant?
Well,
Because we know, like, the last little boy was obviously Darth Vader as a child. But he was a Skywalker. See, this is it. The Skywalkers come down.
yeah.
This little boy, there's no chance that he's a Skywalker. There's not a Skywalker out there walking around that we don't know about.
I get it. But in every Star Wars movie, the scene with the...
my light source decided to move away, and AJ saved the day.
I
Perfect.
thought that was on break.
Nah.
In every Star Wars movie, the person at the end of the scene, at the end of the movie, always is in the next one.
Right. Which is great, but my question is, who is he? How is he relevant to the story?
We
'Cause
don't know that.
Right, exactly. That's what we're speculating on. Who is he? How is he relevant to the story? Is he a Skywalker? Is there a solo Skywalker sibling or two out there that are canon that we know, because Han and Leia were supposed to have had 3 children, but thus far, since they started the new movies, they've only introduced Kylo Ren, possibly Rey. We know. I mean, we know
Yeah.
Ben, but and we think that Rey is Ben's sister, but that means that there could possibly be another Skywalker solo child out there.
So what if that's him?
Well, I don't think it would be him. He's awfully young for Han and Leia,
True.
but he could be a grandchild. That's what I'm saying. If there's a third sibling out there that we haven't seen yet come to light, that maybe isn't necessarily a Jedi or strong with the Force, but it runs in the family, see?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Because I like how
What do you
this
think?
all started with Anakin.
Well,
It did.
of course it all started with
did.
Anakin.
Yes.
All of it started.
I love Star Wars. Like,
I mean, it's just like with any family.
Yeah.
It didn't even really start with Anakin. You can go beyond Anakin and say it started with his mother, or it started with Anakin's granddad, or, you don't know. But see, Shmi doesn't know who Anakin's father was. Shmi was kind of like the Virgin Mary, if you think about it. She just was suddenly pregnant. If I understand everything correctly, she was just pregnant, and all of a sudden she doesn't know
And
how.
I'm pretty sure she didn't even know what the Force was or anything.
Oh no, of course she didn't know what the Force
Or
was.
his father was the one who passed down the trait of the strong Force using.
Right. So, but see, we don't know. We really don't know.
Yeah.
There's no way to know. I mean, is it kind of like immaculate conception, like with the Virgin Mary? She never had sex, but then she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like that? The Force just decided to make the Skywalker line. I mean, I'm not being funny. I'm being serious. The Force just decided I need a strong line of people, or
No,
we
the
don't
Force-
know. We don't know
We have
how
no
Anakin
idea.
came to be, because Shmi says there was no father. She was just pregnant.
That makes no sense.
So it could be that it could possibly be not even. I don't even think that it actually started with Anakin. I think that the Skywalker magic, the Skywalker curse, the Skywalker force, whatever you want to call it, this strong thing that goes down the family, I think it actually started with Shmi.
And I think it gets stronger the further the family goes. Because
Absolutely. Look at Kylo. Look how strong he is.
yeah.
Look at Ben. He's just.
Because Darth Vader, when the lasers flying at him, he couldn't do anything. Like, sure, he could use the Force to stop the guy, but he couldn't stop the lasers with the Force. Now look at Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens. Boom.
Right. And look at Rey. Look at Rey, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because we've already discussed, we're 1,000% sure she is a Skywalker or a
Yeah.
solo Skywalker. And she, having no knowledge whatsoever about the Force or anything, look how strong she was.
Yeah.
Look what she was able to
She
do,
took-
never having picked up a lightsaber before.
She took down Luke. I mean,
So,
not knowing what this Force was, what even a lightsaber was at the moment.
It
Well,
took
she
down
knew what it
Luke.
was, but she never held one before. She never used one in an actual battle.
well, when she was fighting Ben,
Yeah.
that's the first time she'd ever had anything to do with anything, and she let's face it, she kicked ass and took names.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. The further down the family line the force goes, the stronger it gets within them.
Okay. Enough
But
about.
if you'll remember, Anakin, I mean, his chlormidian was off the scale. You know, so it makes you wonder if they do the chlormidian count on, say, Rey, what it would be. If it's off the scale for Anakin and it just gets stronger
Yeah.
as you go down the family line, you
And
know.
she doesn't know how to control it fully yet, or control it. She knows how to use it to grab things and move things, as we've seen in the last scene of the movie, like the move those big pile of rocks. But it just gets stronger as she grows and learns how to use it.
Now, I want to say this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Yeah, go.
I was going to change really quickly. I've had a theory since The Force Awakens came out, okay? And it's about Finn.
Okay.
I could be completely off base, I could be completely wrong, but I think, even though he was a stormtrooper that broke away, I think that Finn was either
Oh, I get an idea of him.
either going to be, like, proved to be a Fett, like Boba Fett's child, or Lando Calrissian's child. Because he doesn't have a last name. He was just a number, so it was FN, blah, 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 whatever, so they just started calling him Finn. That's my theory. Do you have a thought on this theory? And my next question after that is, do you think, because you saw how they hugged and everything when they got back to, you know, they finally got back to each other, do you think that he and Rey are going to be an item as far as a romantical connection, or do you think that he's gonna hook up with that other chick, what the heck ever her name was?
Yeah, that
Okay.
other chick.
First question about Finn. I never really thought about that. I have never really thought about his origins or where he came from.
I really think he's either Boba Fett's child or Orlando Calrissian's child.
And that's really, really interesting to think about.
I mean, otherwise, like, because, okay,
And the dark side took him to be a number, right?
well, so they don't, see, the thing is with the stormtroopers, it's not, a lot of those guys, if you remember back in the Clone Wars, a lot of those guys were clones. And so
Yes.
Boba Fett was a clone. And so my thought process is, naturally going down, Boba Fett was a clone. What if he had a child? That would explain why he doesn't look like Boba Fett. He actually had a natural child. He wasn't cloned. But that child was given over to the stormtroopers to be raised to be a stormtrooper. See, that could make sense there why he might be Boba Fett's child. But as far as Lando Calrissian, he could be a Calrissian, much like Lando was conflicted. He wanted to do the right thing, but he wound up doing the wrong thing, and you know what I mean? Wound up with Han Solo and Carbonite and everything like that. He was a nice guy, and he was Han's friend, but he was conflicted.
Oh, he wasn't.
That's a really interesting storyline.
And so Finn was conflicted. If you remember in the very
Yeah.
beginning, that's how he wound up renouncing his stormtrooper and running away. Because he was extremely conflicted. This is the wrong thing to do. We shouldn't be doing this.
And he just ran away.
And he had that conflict going on within himself. That's where I think he could, maybe he could be Lando's kid.
Yeah.
That's my thought process. How he could either be one or the other. Now, as far what the heck was that child's name? I want to call her April, but I know that ain't right.
What child?
The one that went on the side jaunt with Finn to go find
No
the
idea.
what the hell was her name?
I think it was something with the C.
I can't. The little Oriental girl.
I don't know.
And remember, she kisses him. And she says, "I saved you." That's what we do for things that we love. We save them for things that we love. Like, so she's basically telling him she loves him.
Yep.
and then she goes into the coma or whatever. They're trying to save her. So my question is, then you see him when he gets to see Ray again, and they do this great big hug. Do you think that he goes with the girl from the ship that we can't remember her name, or do you think he has a romantic relationship with Ray?
I think,
Girl
and
with
this
the
is
chip.
my opinion, that he's gonna get with both of them, and they're gonna get mad at him.
See, and I just don't think Finn's that kind of guy.
From
He's
our families to yours.
I don't think Finn's that kind of guy to be trying to play two women at one time.
Yeah. What is the name of the girl that Finn goes with in Last Jedi?
Didn't Google a great thing?
But Google ain't a great thing because he didn't say what that girl was.
What do you think?
I think she's going with the Asian girl on the ship that he met a while ago. That's what I think.
You want to know something else? I think.
What?
I think, and I've thought it from ever since the Force Awakens first came out. I think that
Rolling.
what the heck is his name? I had it just a second ago until I started talking to y'all. The crap's his name?
Rose.
Rose. I knew it was
Yeah,
something
that
simple.
her name.
The pilot, Poe. I think Poe Dameron is somebody. I think Poe Dameron is somebody.
Oh, the one that helped the
The
Did
pilot, yeah.
two that
Hold
were
on.
on that don't remember their dang names and got the ship for them to get out of that planet.
Yeah, the
Poe
pilot.
Dameron Last Jedi trailer. Not trailer, but movie.
I think that Poe probably has some hidden parentage there. I mean, think of what a talented pilot that he is.
Yeah.
Think what a talented pilot he is. He's a part of the bad side.
I don't think so.
I do.
Poe's not part of the bad guys.
I do.
I think that we might find out that Poe, because he's such a great pilot,
Mm-hmm.
what did they say about Anakin Skywalker?
Wait, he's
What did
one of
they
the-
say about Luke Skywalker?
He's one of the pilots that helps the.
What are they saying about Rey? She's a good pilot.
What was Anakin's big specialty before he discovered the Force?
Pod racing.
Pod racing.
He
and racing.
could fly anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, fly literally anything.
Okay, so Anakin can fly anything.
Yes.
Luke can fly anything.
Yes.
Rey can fly anything.
Yes.
And Han Solo's a good
Han
pilot.
Solo can fly anything.
Yes.
So they come up with this guy, Poe Dameron,
Who can fly anything.
who can fly anything.
Really good too. So that's.
So it's I really think that we're going to find out that maybe Poe is a Skywalker somehow in the mix.
But why would they trade him? Why would he trade them?
Maybe he didn't know. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe there
it was
two.
Leia's secret.
Maybe there were two sets of twins, but Leia didn't know, and they took one away and only gave her whichever twin, and then Poe was the other twin that grew up somewhere else.
And maybe that kid is
Maybe.
Poe's child.
Maybe whoever Luke Skywalker's love interest was, maybe he's Luke Skywalker's son. Same scenario. Didn't know.
But they all
There were
fly
twins.
Really good.
Didn't know there were twins. And Luke has a child that nobody knew about. Do you see
And
the scenarios?
still don't know about.
Right. I'm just saying that I think we might find out at some point that as good of a pilot as Poe Dameron is, he has to somehow. It just seems to me like it would be awesome to find out that he
Yeah.
was actually related somehow.
Okay, enough about backstories. First
Okay.
time Princess Leia almost
Oh.
died.
Oh.
She was trapped in outer space.
That was pretty crazy. What did you?
That was my favorite part of the movie. She was in outer space,
Was she?
dead, just there. Her
Dead,
hand
dead.
twitches and
Just
moves
dead,
to
dead.
the front of the door. In outer space.
I want to call something.
Bare skin.
Spoiler alert.
Call it.
I just called it.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Babe, we called spoiler alert at the very beginning of this video. If you don't want to know anything about the movie, don't watch it.
I know, but I just wanted to say.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
You have to remember, even though she's female, even though she'd never trained as a Jedi, she is the direct
Skywalker.
descendant of Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. So the Force is strong within her
yeah,
as well.
really strong.
And she was the leader of the rebellion. She had to survive. So it was,
But
she hadn't found her brother yet. It was imperative that she survive. And so her will to survive was stronger than outer space and cold and no air and all that.
I forgot
And what I also think is funny, she's in outer space, she touches a door, and they open it, bring her in. Why didn't they fly out?
Don't ask me the hard stuff, man. I don't know.
It's outer space, a vacuum of space. When you open a door from a ship, all that air will come sucking out. Which
Well,
pushes anything
I'm
with it.
I'm inclined to believe that somehow she got into the vapor lock, the chamber, the lock chamber, whatever, and then closed that door, and then they got her out of the lock and into the. That's the only thing I can figure.
And I
think
also
that-
liked when Kylo Ren was about to push that button, about to shoot the thing, and then two starships. He lets go of the button. He's not gonna shoot it. Two starships.
Yeah, the TIE fighters. Yeah, the TIE fighters came and blew it up anyway, and so there was his mom. But I did love that because it shows so much the conflict that's going on within Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he wants to obliterate everything from the past, but that is his mother.
Yeah.
That's his mom. He knew she was there. He could feel her. She could feel him. They knew. Now, yeah.
I thought it was neat that Rey and Kylo Ren connected like that.
Well, yeah, and see, that's another thing. Snoke says that he enabled that for them to be able to bridge their minds and connect like that.
So
But my thought process is, if they weren't related, if they were not brother and sister, or at the very least cousins, like they want you to believe, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, that's Luke's child," or whatever. I think that if they weren't somehow related, they would not be able. Snoke being Supreme Emperor Snoke or whatever, powerful, all blah 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 blah. Whether or not, I don't think he would have been able to bridge their minds like that.
Okay, I found an interesting article. That basically says, Poe Dameron is one of Leia's most trusted operatives, a decorated pilot.
X-wing pilot.
He can fly anything. Those are the actual words. He can fly anything.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, that's what makes me think that somehow he's intertwined. Somehow there is a relation going on somewhere because, again, that was Luke's thing. That was Anakin's thing. It all comes down to being, oh, he's an amazing pilot. He can fly anything. Well, that's what they say about all the Skywalker men. So,
Yep.
let's think about it.
Anakin was hard-headed, right?
So was Luke.
Yes, so was Luke. So was Poe.
Yeah.
They're related.
I mean,
it's something to think. I mean, it's
simple logic.
yeah. So let's go back and revisit. AJ, you brought up something that I was getting ready to talk about, and that's let's talk about the mind bridging that happened between Ben and Ray.
Okay.
What do you think about Ben and Ray being able to communicate with by mind bridging?
I think they're cousins. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're cousins, and I think that Kylo Ren and Rey are brother and sister.
Okay. Here's what I think. Have you guys ever known any twins?
Hold on. I don't know.
Have you ever heard of something called there's a special twin connection? Have you ever heard of that? It's a real thing where actual twins, they kind of know what's going on with each other even if they're not in the same place.
That's interesting to think about.
Yep.
Hey, give me that cord because I need to plug my laptop in. Oh, you dug the other cord out?
Last time we dug them out.
Am I plugged in? Is this cord plugged into the...
Yes, it is.
Okay. Sorry, we got a little bit of technical issues. I'm running low on battery power and I don't want to lose y'all. So, alright, we're plugged in. So that's just something to think about.
Rolling.
Yeah, Snoke bridged their minds, but I don't think he could have done it if they weren't related somehow. And the fact that it was so strong, I think, is a twin thing. I really do.
I think
That's my thought process. I could be wrong. This is all speculation between me, Brandon, and AJ. Tell us down below what you think. If you think that we are completely off base, if you agree with anything that we're saying, if you disagree with anything that we're saying.
And haters don't watch the videos.
Oh, and yeah, haters, keep your hate to yourself. We're all about positivity and love around here. What are you researching over there?
I'm looking up, it's StarWars.com.
Ooh, I'm gonna look that up.
Poe comes back, Secrets of the Force Awakens.
StarWars.com, okay.
So, they are looking at StarWars.com. And, this video is about 38 minutes long at this point. So, while they're doing some research, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video for now. We may come back and do a Star Wars discussion part 2 here in a little bit. We're going to do some more research and get some more talking points and maybe come back and do a part 2 here in just a little bit. I hope you enjoyed our discussion. I know that you can't see Brandon. I know you can't see AJ. I don't have a way to flip my camera around, I don't think. No, I only have the one-way camera on this laptop. Hi, Brandon. Hi. AJ's over there. Let me see. I'll just move the laptop so you can see. Say hi, AJ.
Say hi.
Hold on.
AJ.
Hi. How are y'all?
So this is I hadn't done a video in a little while. There's a lot going on in my real life, but I wanted to come on. We went to see The Last Jedi last night. It was really awesome. By this point, like I always said, the movie's been out probably about 2.5 weeks now, so most people have seen it. I hope that you took the spoiler alerts to heart in the beginning, and if you hadn't seen it, that you didn't watch the video all the way through. Alright, guys. We're going to go ahead and cut it off here, and then, like I said, we should be back in a little bit to discuss part 2.
Alright.
See ya.